Shakespearean tragedy is a landmark in the history of literature. Shakespeare was an innovator. What others learned by hard work, Shakespeare could master naturally. He looked into the mirror of life and understood everything. Shakespeare was not merely a great artist, he was an entrepreneur. He was an experimenter. He was a genius who made appropriate changes in his plays to suit the stage conditions of his time. To understand Shakespeare's stage techniques, we must have the idea of the Elizabethan stage. In the era of Queen Elizabeth, the theatres became very popular. There were many theatres like the Globe, the Rose, the Swan, etc. Shakespeare's plays were not written for reading but for stage performance. That is the reason why we must think of them in their connections with the requirement of the stage. If we compare the modern version of the acting of these plays with the original text, we shall find the important points of difference. Modern versions are often quite different and alterations are made quite arbitrarily. This shows that stage for which Shakespeare wrote was entirely different from ours. The condition of the theatres in those days were completely different. In this connection, it is necessary to study the kind of the stage in which Elizabethan age existed. A sketch made by Johns de Witt in 1596 gives us some idea of the Elizabethan theatre. Let us summarize some important points of the Elizabethan stage. First, movable scenery was quite unknown. Therefore, the dramatists had to use the same stage for different locations. It was not necessary to give names to these locations. The platform of the stage was divided into three parts: the front stage, the back stage, and the upper stage. The front stage was conventionally employed for any kind of open space, street, square, or field. The back stage was used as a room in the palaces, a council chamber, or any other interior. The upper stage gallery was used as the actor's retiring room. It was also used as any elevated spot like the walls of the castle, gallery or balcony. For example, Juliet's gallery in Romeo and Juliet. Simplicity of stage setting gave freedom and rapidity to the movement of the action. As there was no change of scene, it was made without any difficulty. One group of characters would leave and the others would enter. The fresh scene would begin without any device. There was no movable scenery. This also affected the various structural devices of the Shakespearean plays. There was complete indifference to the considerations of locality and unity of place. There are a lot of minor scenes which could seem quite unnecessary today. There was no drop curtain in the Elizabethan stage. There was no way of closing a scene except by taking all the characters out of the stage. Not only that, but dead bodies were also cleared in this way. Shakespeare is therefore obliged to bring such scene to its natural conclusion. Very often such scene should look like anticlimax. That is the reason why it is often said that in Shakespeare's plays the curtain falls like the knife of a guillotine. Thus we must understand clearly that Shakespeare's plays were written with the focus on conditions of the stage. His plays were to be staged and therefore it is necessary to keep the Elizabethan stage conditions in mind to appreciate his plays. Thank you.